Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to my channel MS Academy. In this short video, I will discuss the different forms of passive sentences in English. In my previous video, I talked about the different forms of verbs in present tense. We learned the forms of verbs that we use in simple present, present continuous, present perfect. Now in this video, we will learn the remaining forms as well. Remember, we don't have passive forms for perfect continuous tense. That is, we don't have passive forms for present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous, and future continuous. So you need to learn the other 8 forms. So let us look at with one example. We will learn the different forms of verbs when we use passive sentences. Look at the sentence. I'll tell you one sentence in the active, and I'll give you the 8 different forms of sentences. Look at this. He writes a letter. This is a simple present sentence. You have already learned the form of the verb. He writes a letter. When you change it into passive, you bring the object into subject position. So here, he writes a letter comes to the subject position, and the appropriate form of the verb has to be used. When the sentence is in simple present, we use am, is, or are plus past participle. So here, he writes a letter is written by him. Okay, so this is the present simple present passive form, am, is, or are plus past participle. Remember, in passive sentences we use the past participle form of the verb. Okay, past participle means the third form of the verb. In along with this, we use other auxiliary verbs in other different tenses as well. Now in simple present, we learn that we use am, is, or are plus past participle. Now let us look at the present continuous. He is writing a letter. A letter is being written by him. The form is am, is, or are plus being plus past participle. A letter is being written. Now present perfect. He has written a letter. A letter has been written. So the form of the verb in present perfect, has or have plus been plus past participle. A letter has been written by him. So this is what we learned in the last session. Now let's move on to the past tense, simple past. He wrote a letter. He wrote a letter. Now look at this. A letter was written by him. The form of the verb is was or were plus past participle. A letter was written by him. Now, past continuous. He was writing a letter. Form is a letter was being written by him. Was or were plus being plus past participle. Now, past perfect. He had written a letter. A letter had been written by him. That is, had plus been plus past participle. So simple past, was or were plus past participle. Past continuous, was or were plus being plus past participle. Past perfect, had plus been plus past participle. I'll give you some example sentences in my description box. You can write it down, and also you can attempt the quiz that I'll be giving in my description box. So this is past tense forms. Now let us look at the future as well. He will write a letter. A letter will be written by him. There is no passive form for future continuous and future perfect continuous. Now future perfect. A letter will have written by him. Sorry, future perfect. He will have written a letter. A letter will have been written by him. Once again, future perfect. He will have written a letter. Passive form, a letter will have been written by him. Active form of future perfect, will or shall plus have plus past participle. they will have submitted the assignment. The assignment will have been submitted by them. Okay, so don't get confused. The active form of future perfect is will or shall plus have plus past participle, and passive form will or shall plus have plus being plus past participle. Hope you will do similar exercises. This is also a major part of almost all the competitive exams. You will be asked to change the active sentences into passive. If you know the structure of verbs, it is easy for you to transform an active sentence into passive. I ask you to understand these forms, and if you do more exercises, this will be easy for you. If you find this video useful, do subscribe my channel. I'll come with short videos on English grammar and literature as well. Thank you very much.